Good morning, everyone. How are you? I hope you had a resting weekend. In today's lecture, I'm going to make with you a mind map that we used to do in class when we are done with the lesson in order to review and make the lesson easier and better for you to understand. So last week we were talking about the changes that occur on the Earth's surface, and we talked about weathering, erosion, and deposition. So let's start. Concerning the changes in the Earth's surface, we have slow changes that we were talking about during the whole week, which are weathering, erosion, and deposition. And we have fast changes that we will be discussing in the upcoming lectures. So for today, we are going to focus on slow changes and slow effects that cause the changes of the Earth's surface. So to start with, we talked about weathering. So the first important thing to mention is weathering. So can anyone remind me about the definition of weathering? Exactly. I'm sure that most of you are saying that weathering is breaking down the rocks. So it's when rocks break down. So when rocks break into sediments. Exactly. So weathering is when rocks break into sediments. These sediments will not stay in their places eventually. So the movement of these sediments is called erosion. Great. So sediment, once they move, they will move through a process called erosion. Exactly. So weathering, the rocks will break into sediments. These sediments will move during erosion. Then, after this, so this would lead us to the third process, which is called deposition. Exactly. So, to sum this whole process, we can know that weathering is breaking apart. So, when we say weathering, we say breaking. Weathering will lead to erosion, which is movement. So when I say erosion, this would be movement. And then after moving, they will eventually be dropped into a certain place in order to form or to create new landforms. So actually, this process of 3 steps will form new landforms that we all know. So create landforms. So this process of 3 steps, weathering, erosion, and deposition, will cause the creation of new landforms in our area. Now, if we asked ourselves, what causes weathering and erosion? Well, we can summarize this as the following. So these 2 processes, which are weathering and erosion, occur due to 3 factors. They can be either physical. Can anyone remind me what do we mean by physical? Physical factors that causes weathering and erosion? Exactly. So this can be through wind, through water, or through ice. Exactly. They can be also due to chemical, like acid rain, for example. So as the name says, chemical, which means that there should be chemicals there. And the last one is biological, which means plants or animals. Exactly. So Let us repeat everything and sum things up. So the changes in the Earth's atmosphere can be caused by slow changes or fast changes. In last week's lectures, we were talking about slow changes, which are combined by the processes of weathering, which means breaking down big rocks into sediments. Then these sediments will move during the process of erosion. So erosion means moves. And then finally, these sediments will be dropped into other places by the process of deposition. This process, these three processes will form for us or create for us new landforms. Now, weathering and erosion can occur due to physical factors like wind, water, and ice. They can occur due to chemical factors like the acid rain, for example, or biological factors like plants and animals.